Hello, friends, and welcome to A Cosmic Connection. Grab yourself a drink or a cup of tea. I have my favorite mug, and I have elderberry and lemon tea. And I like these teas because they have little messages. Let's see what our message is. The universe is within you, bright and beautiful. Oh yeah, it is. You know it. So anyway, Cosmic Connection is going to be looking at the energies around us and how they can connect with our growth and empowerment. And we're going to be looking at the week of January 30th to February 5th. As January comes to an end and February begins, we close the cycles of the first month of 2023. A cold, dreary January that opened with a Cancer full moon, an emotional overload, and inner reset. Mercury, Mars, and Uranus were all in retrograde motion. As we move through January, all these planets stationed direct. And we began this lunar cycle that we are in now with the Aquarius new moon. At the Aquarius new moon, Uranus went direct. This is an important connection because throughout this lunar cycle, the moon, Uranus, and other planets have kind of been doing a little dance in the aspects that they have been creating. Uranus has been playing a big part of us stepping into our individuality coming into this year. And its movements are really going to be connected to the full moon that we are coming to at the end of this week. So all these planets moving into direct motion allowed for movement, for a lift of energy, for a breath of refreshment and renewal to come into being. This forward movement is going to continue all through February until the middle of April. So get ready to take intentional action and embrace this supportive push forward. This week we see the end of January and the beginning of February. And we see midwinter celebration here in the Northern Hemisphere. So midwinter is the midpoint of winter between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. In the Southern Hemisphere, they will be celebrating the midpoint between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we begin to move closer to spring. The days are growing longer and warmer. This movement brings renewal, rebirth, and the movement into expansion and growth. A renewal of hope and a glimpse of spring to come. February 2023 is going to be a month of expansion and growth with some very beautiful and powerful energies that will support us in our forward movement, in our connection to self, and to our expression in all their forms. This week holds particularly two very cosmically powerful days for us to we could work with. Thursday we have the 2-2 portal, and Sunday we have the full moon in Leo. February numerology to 2023 is 9. The energy of feelings, of awareness, of completion, of sovereignty, absolutely perfect energy to go along with these cosmic events that we see this week and the month in general. We began this week with the last 2 days of January. January was the month of accumulation, abundance, and balance, numerology 8, allowing us to balance and wrap up the lessons, activities, and goals that we have been working on this month, this winter season, really wrapping up the year gone, allowing us to begin to bring these things to completion. With the moon continuing to grow, moving from the half moon into the waxing gibbous, we are pushed into the energy of action, of accumulation, of momentum, of movement, of expansion, really kickstarting us to initiate those goals and actions that we have been wishing for, that we have been working for, those intentions that we put out there at the new moon. Monday, January 30th, we see the waxing gibbous moon move into the zodiac sign of Gemini. Gemini is our communication, our thought processes, and how we speak to ourselves and others. So the moon is going to be over here in Gemini. And while it's here, it's going to form a square with Venus in Pisces. And Venus has just newly moved into Pisces. So her energy here is still strong and new. This square with Venus and Pisces is asking us to look at the challenges we have with feelings of completion, of moving forward, of balance, aligning our heart center, our unconditional love and acceptance, our value and relationships in all their forms, with how we communicate these feelings. This square aspect is challenging us to bring these two areas, these two energies, into alignment, integrating them together to enable us to turn the corner and step forward. The challenges we may feel, the inabilities to express ourselves, to express our love, these challenges often have underlying reasoning, underlying influences that are mostly rooted in our past and in our viewpoint. So can we challenge the way that we look at our love to enable us to express it better? Square energy is about making decisions. So we're coming right out of this half moon energy where the moon is squared the sun. And we are making decisions that align our inner and outer selves in order to ground these expressions in our reality. This waxing gibbous moon in Gemini will also form a sextile with Jupiter in Aries. So the moon here in Gemini is going to form a sextile with Jupiter here in Aries. So this play of energy coming together from here, this play of energy coming from here. Now this sextile with Jupiter in Aries is going to begin to activate this Jupiter energy that we're going to be moving through at the beginning of this week as the moon slowly squares up with Jupiter in Aries. And that will happen on Thursday. So this initial angle, this sextile with the planet Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, unlimited potential in the zodiac sign of Aries, so that energy of I am, energy of initiation, of intentional action, of forward movement, is going to aid us in our manifestations coming into February, coming into this midpoint of winter. You know, winter is the time of introspection and inner renewal, where we take stock of what is inside, we integrate the seasons past, and we come out renewed. And then we're going to end the week with the Leo full moon, which is a time of personal empowerment and strength. So this activation of Jupiter energy is really going to spur us into this movement of forward action. So Monday is going to be a good day to initiate and continue acting intentionally towards the goals, desires, and dreams you have been working towards. Numerology for the day is 11, the number of manifesting dreams. You add 11 together, 1 + 1 is 2, the number of balance and alignment. So it's a great day to get your actions in alignment with your dreams, really kickstarting your manifesting and balancing for that 2-2 portal on the 2nd. Tuesday, the 31st of January. Now, Tuesdays are Mars's day, associated with the planet Mars and action, drive, motivation. The numerology number for Tuesday is the number 3. So 3 energy, the energy of co-creation, expression, communication, allowing us to continue to communicate our desires and dreams. And bringing that solid energy of action into place through the connection with Mars. Reminding us that Mars in Gemini is about communicating how we act and how we show up in the world. So how can you show up today, the end of January, on a high note and step into February renewed? We see a Gemini moon connecting these energies of communication, expression, and creation, squaring Neptune and Pisces. So Tuesday, we're going to see the moon moving through Gemini, still in Gemini, But connecting over here to, you can't really see it because I wrote in yellow, but in Neptune and Pisces. So coming out of its alignment with Venus and squaring up with Neptune. So remember, squares are an aspect of challenge, an aspect of integration, putting movement together. Neptune is the planet of awakening, unity, spiritual connectedness in the watery sign of Pisces. Pisces can be seen as our spiritual waters, swimming through our spiritual waters, swimming through our journey balanced. So bringing into play how we express our spirituality, our beliefs, and our spiritual connections and actions to ourselves and to others. Really allowing us to solidify this trinity of mind, body, soul, ready to step into the month of balance, alignment, and awareness. So on Wednesday, we have the 1st of February. So we're seeing the first day of February. The waxing gibbous moon is still in Gemini, connecting to the energies of Mercury. So we're connecting with Mercury because Wednesday is Mercury Day, the day associated with the planet of Mercury. And the numerology for this day is 10. So we're looking at the energies of completion, leadership, forward movement, and manifestation, connecting us to the number 1 and new beginnings. Now this numerology energy of 1 falling on the first day of the month is going to aid this energy of newness, of a clean slate, of this clean movement forward with intentional action. It's also going to aid us in aligning and balancing the many aspects of self as the numerology for each day going forward for the rest of the week aligns with the calendar date for each day. So coming into Wednesday here, we see numerology 10, which equals down to 1, the 1st. Then we see numerology 11 equaling 2 on the 2nd, 3 on the 3rd, 4 on the 4th, and 5 on the 5th. And this is really bringing an alignment of energy associated with the dates that we place on the calendar month that help guide us through each month. We see this Gemini waxing gibbous moon form a trine with Saturn and Uranus. A trine is like a triangle. Trine. So here we have Saturn down here. So Saturn is connecting with the moon still sitting up here in Gemini as it's working its way through Gemini towards Cancer. So this trine with Saturn in Aquarius is helping us to step forward this month from a place of power, of routine, of discipline, of structure, but from an energy of flexibility and alignment and balance rather than rigidity. So structure, discipline that is in alignment with our flexibility and our movement is in alignment with us flowing through the energy of our existence. This Aquarius energy, amplified by the sun in Aquarius, is bringing these structures into our physical form, our physical reality, our physical being, enabling us to not only communicate with our thoughts and words, but also with our actions, because oftentimes actions speak louder than words. So really getting us used to leading with our actions. Words can be quite empty if we don't act from them, whereas actions show if our words are in alignment. Actions really show what kind of person we are. So again, taking this action-orientated movement and putting it into place to better ourselves, to step forward. We're also going to see the sun in Aquarius connecting with Chiron, which is an asteroid in Aries, and Chiron is still in retrograde motion. But as it is an asteroid, this retrograde energy isn't really that effective to our functioning or the overall retrograde thing. So here we see this little yellow sun. So we got the sun here in Aries connecting here with Chiron. or the sun in Aquarius. I think I said Aries, but the sun in Aquarius connecting with Chiron here in Aries. So this forms a harmonious angle, a sextile, and is really allowing us to approach this month from a place of healing, a place of learnt lessons, of communicating from a deeper level of the learned experience and like inner honesty, connecting our inner and outer selves in a very beautiful new way of communicating that really is going to take us into our own, giving us this energy of leading ourselves, leading our healing, taking ownership for our actions, our expressions, our thoughts, our feelings, really connecting all these different levels of self in clarity and taking a whole new ownership of the self, of who we are, and kind of owning us in completion, in this completion of acceptance and love of exactly who we are. We have learnt from Chiron, as she is the wounded healer. She talks about us learning from our wounds, learning from our mistakes, learning from our past. So really aligning that energy of what have you learned that you are going to take forward as you step into the next day, Thursday, which is going to be a very powerful day of manifestation. So on the 1st, we really want to look at ourselves as a whole and be ready to put ourselves forward. Thursday, the 2nd of February, Thursday is Jupiter's day. So we see the moon in her power. So the moon has moved into her ruling sign of Cancer, really empowering us to own ourselves, own our feelings, our emotional integrity. And this moon is going to square up with Jupiter in Aries. This is happening on the 2nd day of the 2nd month. So this is the opening of the 2-2 portal. It is also the midpoint of winter. Now today is going to be a very powerful day of manifesting, of initiating those actions that will push you into expansion. The numerology of that day is amplifying these manifestation energies. It is 11, the number of manifestation. It could not align more beautifully. That equals 2. So it's manifestation through alignment and balance. So manifesting from our wholeness, from our alignment and balance that we have worked on, from ourselves. Really aligning us with the month's energy of alignment and balance. This square with Jupiter is going to challenge us to act, to not just feel these empowering changes, but to make them happen, to step forward, to initiate intentional action. Now, squaring with Jupiter is a challenging aspect. There is an aspect of tension in a square, so our energies are coming together. There is tension. There's a need for integration and turning a corner. This energy is amplified by the fact that we are sitting in the day of Jupiter, so it is a double connection to Jupiter energy. Jupiter, our planet of expansion, of an infinite potential, sitting there asking us to make the decision, are we going to act? So how can you act from a place that is aligned with your inner feelings, your inner knowing, your intuition? A time to act on the things that will bring expansion and growth. Now, falling on midwinter, this day holds another symbolism associated with our changing seasons and is often seen as a point of planting seeds and initiating the growth we want to bring forth in the spring, of nourishing and aiding the growth of the sun. It is a fire festival that aims to bring warmth, light, and renewed hope for the spring to come. This energy of planting seeds, of stepping into growth, is a perfect energy to work with manifestation and expansion. So it's perfect energy to align with this energy portal. Energy portals are always times of manifestation. They're times of aligned energy. They're times for us to step forward. So it's a really good day to set those things in motion that you would like to accumulate throughout this month, throughout this season, and throughout this year. For the actions we take today will blossom when we step into spring, bringing our dreams into reality that we have been creating. The 2-2 portal, seen as a portal of balance and alignment, unity, of creating stability and foundations, of sharing, of duality, of seeing two sides of the story. A very powerful energy that we can intentionally work with until it closes on the 22nd. We can connect with this energy in so many ways. What areas do you need to bring into balance? What activities can you introduce during this time that will help you align on your path? How can you expand your skills? How can you share with yourself and others? And how can you turn up? This energy of balance and connection, following the energy of new beginnings and initiation, is really going to aid us in being and connecting with ourselves. From a more connected self, we can see with greater clarity. We can see the duality and the other perspectives there, aiding in our expansion on all levels. A reminder that opposites attract, that there are always an opposite. There is always another option, another path. There is always another viewpoint, another perspective, another story. There's always another chance. This moon is also sextile with Uranus and Taurus. There's our Uranus connection again. This Uranus energy has been very active since the new moon and the planet's movement direct. Uranus, the planet of cosmic connections, cosmic consciousness, a freeing individual energy of rebellion and making revolutionary change. In the sign of Taurus, a very fixed earth sign. So it's all about fixing things in our reality, taking the things that have value in our life and cementing them in our life. This Taurus energy is really flavoring Uranus, aiding us in grounding our connections, aiding us in connecting with our authentic self, and of aligning us in our sovereignty. This sextile with the moon in Cancer is connecting this energy to our inner self, our emotional waters, our intuition, aiding us in connecting on an individual level that we can feel rather than see. Amplifying the energy of feelings of unconditional love and acceptance, the moon is also trine Venus in Pisces, connecting us to our love cycles, our relationships, and our values. The energies of unconditional love and acceptance, really helping us to begin to wrap up this cycle of transformation that we have been going through, this movement into our individuality, allowing us to step into full acceptance of self, allowing us to see ourselves as individuals and as a member of our community and of our world and of our universe, allowing us to step into the flow of our lives with a new acceptance of who we truly are. So this 2-2 portal is really giving us a chance to step forward, to take action, to be accountable for our own leadership, for our own movements, and taking those movements in alignment with our path, not pushing ourselves to go at any other speed, but to go at our speed, because it's our path. We will do things in our own time. We will do things to our own rules. We'll do things that are in alignment with ourselves. And when we do those things that are connected with us, that are in alignment with us, those things are going to turn up. They're going to manifest. They're going to be brilliant. When we are working out of alignment, we are attracting what we do not want. And yes, there is the opposites are attracting, but we also like attracts like. So you're going to be that duality. Remember to always be working with that duality, understanding it's there. February 3rd, Friday, February 3rd. So we're going to step into Friday, Venus Day, associated with the planet Venus, the goddess Venus. Love, love, love. And the numerology for that day is 3, co-creating expression and communication, allowing us to lovingly express the manifestations and connections that we made yesterday as we opened ourselves up to our truest self and the balance of simply being whom we are. The moon is still sitting in Cancer, and it is opposing Mercury in Capricorn. So now we have the moon over here in Cancer, opposing Mercury down here in Capricorn. Cancer opposing Mercury in Capricorn is asking us to bring together feelings and expressions and asking us to ground them in reality. Oppositions are about integration, two energies coming together and meeting in the middle. So allowing our feelings and thought processes to meet in the middle, aiding us in seeing with clarity from a balanced place, aiding us in establishing a better communication with ourselves and others, communicating how we feel, communicating what we see, communicating what we think, and seeing our place in the world. Not just our world, but also the greater world around us. We also see the sun in Aquarius squaring up with Uranus in Taurus, further activating this Uranus, Taurus, Aquarius energy that we have been working through and with this lunar cycle. So this square is asking us to make a choice, to see from a new perspective. We see how we have turned up in our physical world and how these revolutionary changes of self will guide us forward into expansion and growth. Aquarius energy really asking us to be ourselves and see our changes for what they are. Our changes are products of our growth and expansion. We need to step into this movement of change, for this movement of change is what fuels expansion and growth. This movement of change is what helps us flow through our movements along our path. Aquarius, the water bearer, the giver of nourishment, of knowledge, filling ourselves to be whom we are within and without. Powerful energy to bring us into alignment with ourself and with all aspects of ourself before the full moon on Sunday. Friday, the moon in Cancer will also connect with Neptune in Pisces, bringing our spiritual side into play. So this energy of emotional self, of inner self, connecting with the spiritual self and allowing us to express it in our physical plane in our own individual way. Here we are reminded that our spirituality is our own. We all come from a place of unconditional love, and to love ourselves unconditionally, we must connect our spirit to what it needs to grow. That is going to be individual for all of us. So follow your own path. This energy of today is really pushing us to expand our boundaries, to connect to the Trinity of self, our mind, body, and spirit, and live those expressions in our world. To end Friday, we are going to see the moon in a void of course, where it is not within a zodiac sign, opposing Pluto in Capricorn. This is really going to cement those transformations we have put into place, that we have brought into reality, especially over the last couple years. What we have given up has been replaced with things that are in better alignment with ourselves. They have brought us to a better understanding of ourselves. So really asking us to look at the cycles of death and rebirth, of destruction and construction, of opposing energies. Allowing us to see that through every destruction we have gone through, we have rose again. We have rebuilt ourselves again. We have expanded into newness. We have done things we have never thought that we could do. This opposition with Pluto, where the moon is unflavored by zodiac influence, is really setting us up for this transitional step into our own that we are going to be feeling under the full moon this weekend. See your metamorphosis for what it truly was, accepting and loving all aspects of it, for it is what has truly taken you back to yourself, back to your core, ready to emerge again and simply be. Be whatever you are, wherever you are in your cycle. Remember, we are cyclic beings. We are forever moving. We are forever changing. That means who we are is forever adapting and growing. So be where you are. Really connecting us to the energy of this cyclic renewal and movement, connecting us to the energy of simply being where we are, the energy of meeting ourselves where we're at. When we meet ourselves where we're at, the universe is going to meet us there too. And we're going to be able to move forward better because there will be a lack of restriction. There will always be some forms of restrictions because there will always be choices that we need to make. But when we are in the energy of ourselves, we are in a better place to make the choices that keep us in alignment. Saturday, the 4th of February, the day of Saturn. So associated with the planet of Saturn, of discipline and boundaries, connecting with the numerology energy of the number 4, of stability, foundations, building, and growth. Very complementary energies here on Saturday. Beautiful energy to aid us in stepping into this Leo full moon energy, which will peak on Sunday morning. The Leo full moon is a moon of empowerment, of self, of strength and courage, of being the lion of your life. An energy of personal ownership, of being loud, of being bold, of taking up space, of being you. This Leo full moon is going to allow us to be honest with ourselves and see ourselves as we are. The accumulation of our journey, the connection of our being with many aspects of ourselves. Leo is a fixed fire sign, so calling on those fixed energies within us that are what make us whom we are, our desires and passions, our own uniqueness, and how we allow our fires to burn. Do we allow ourselves to be, or do we smother ourselves? Accompanying these lunar energies, we see the Leo moon trine Jupiter in Aries, bringing this energy of expansion, infinite potential, and growth back into place, amplifying the actions we've been taking, aiding those actions to be from a place of the self, aligned with our being and the energies that we want to put out there. The moon is also sextile with Mars in Gemini, so this expression of action coming into play. The full moon in Leo is literally asking us to turn up as ourselves, to take intentional action for ourselves and express these actions in alignment in ways that are in alignment with our growth and expansion in order for us to manifest these dreams and creations that we have been working towards during this waxing growth cycle. The moon is asking you to celebrate yourself, to show up for yourself, to show up as yourself, and to do the things you need to do. Stop putting them off, just go do them. For when we take care of ourselves, we take care of everyone. When we act for ourselves, we align in our true power, and being in our true power empowers us. And when we are empowered, we are stronger, and we are empowered, we empower others. We also see Venus in Pisces squaring this Mars in Gemini, asking us to make a choice, asking us to act from a place of love, a place of balance, a place of our own. So both Pisces and Gemini, both these zodiac signs, are mutable signs. So they're about changing, adaptation, going with the flow, allowing us to flow into our change and turn the corner renewed. Allowing our mind, our emotions to come into balance, to integrate these energies. It's a turning point for these senses to align in unity. A beautiful complementary energy to go into the fixed fire sign of the full moon. For us to fix things into being, we must be able to adapt and flow, to bring things into alignment and to go from there. We are fixed in whom we are. We will adapt and change and grow, but our core energy will always remain. It will always be fixed. We will always have our own individual self. Now our self will change, we will evolve, but our energy and our core will always be fixed. Our mind and emotions will always ebb and flow. They are influenced from within us. They are influenced from without us. They are influenced with where we stand in the world, how we see the world. For our emotions and feelings are avenues and uses of our energy. So remember that our mind changes and that our emotions will pass, but who we truly are will remain. We are ourself in all forms. So just a reminder of this energy of alignment between who we are how we value ourselves, how we love, and how we communicate those things with both ourselves and the world around us. Sunday, the 5th of February, it's the full moon in Leo. The cosmics are quite quiet on this day. We just have the full moon in Leo peaking and forming a square with Uranus and Taurus, bringing to conclusion these energies and dances they've been doing all week and kind of magnifying them in this amplified square, allowing us to make the choice to be our own unique self, our ever-changing and growing self, asking us to make the choice to love and turn up as ourselves, to empower ourselves, to be whom we are unapologetically. The numerology of that day is 5, the energy of change, transformation, renewal, metamorphosis, empowering us to accept those energies of change, to see how these energies of change and transformation are what fuel our growth, fuel our expansion, and fuel our continued connection to self. Really asking us to accept how we have changed, how we have transformed, to see the whole process of how we have got here and accept it as it is. For when we accept who we truly are, we stand in our power, we stand in our leadership, we stand in our ownership of self. This energy is really asking us to see how this ever gradual changing evolution is ourself. For we are change. We are what we evolve into. This week holds a powerful energy potential that can enable us not only to make the intentional actions that will allow us to manifest our dreams, but it also holds the energy potential for us to step into ourselves completely, to make the choice to be whom we are, to make the choice of what cycles we entertain, to allow us to decide where our energy in all its forms is going to be focused, really aiding us in standing in our alignment and seeing with clarity who we are, whom we've been, whom we're going to be, seeing it all, knowing that we are the most present when we simply are, when we take the time to simply be, to just be as we are, do what we need to do, act in this moment. These beautiful energies are really going to remind us of whom we are, focusing on ourselves as individuals and how our interconnection to ourselves influences how we turn up and connect with others. Beautiful energy to aid us in empowering ourselves and being the leader of our own lives. And really a great energy for us to be moving forward into this month of action, this month of manifestation, for when you stand in your power and you know yourself, you're going to act in better ways. You're going to create the things you desire. You're going to see your manifestations. You're going to enable that cycle of manifestation. And it begins by connecting in. It begins by accepting yourself for who you are. It begins by seeing yourself as who you are. So sit here this moment and see yourself as who you are. Look at yourself and say, I'm me. This is who I am. Right now, this is how I'm feeling. Right now, this is what I'm doing. This is what I am. When we come from a place of connection to self, we're much more able to make those changes and move forward in ways that bring better alignment for ourselves, that nourish ourselves and help us to grow. This week is really giving us this potential to restart and step into our own power, fix our little crowns, and move on into 2023 and get what we want. It's just gonna be so damn beautiful. And that, my friends, is our cosmic connection. How are you going to connect with this moon? What do you plan to do? Guess what? You get to choose. You can do whatever you want. So say with me, I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am amazing just the way I am. And I'm going to go get what I want. Until the next time. Goodbye, my friends.